we are doing like favourite foods from around the world that we've experienced. So like favourite meals, favourite restaurants, whether it's in a hotel or a destination.
Go.
Oh, do you want to go?
I can go.
You go.
Okay. I mean, I'm a real foodie. Love my food.
We all are, I think.
We are, hey? It's difficult to narrow it down to a cuisine, but I was lucky enough to experience the Nobu in Dubai. And it was like, melt in your mouth like I've never experienced. It was so good. The black cod was just the most beautiful, light
thing.
Honestly amazing. In fact, my mouth is like filling with saliva just thinking about it. It was so good.
Was this the same time you went to Atlantis the Royal?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
So it was a whole...
And it was a whole experience. Like they had this really clever magician come round to the table, and it was like, and obviously with these kind of trips, you don't really order. You know, food comes to the table, and it's an experience.
You just eat it.
Yeah, you do. You have an open mind, and you just experience whatever is coming at you. And it was just magic. It was so good. So yeah, that's up there.
Do you remember the first time we went for dinner with Alice?
At Caravan.
At Caravan in London. And we sat down and ordered, and you were like, yeah, I'm fine with whatever. Yeah, whatever. Weren't picky. And then you went to the bathroom or something. I was like, okay, she likes food, so we're good. Because if you just sat down and said, I don't like this, I don't like that, it would have been quite difficult.
We would have gone by the time you came back from the bathroom.
We love you, Richard. You're that person, but we love you.
So Richard has a very severe nut allergy, and to be fair, we've been
pain
best
in the
friends for
arse.
like 15, 16 years. And I did inadvertently bring almond croissants and chocolate hazelnut croissants to today's shoot. My apologies, Richard.
He's trying to kill the most important guy.
We've known each other for 15 years, and we've all the evidence at Hard Rock Cafe.
We don't, honestly, there is no podcast episode long enough to discover or to discuss Richard and I's food faux pas across the world.
Richard couldn't be part of this episode because I'm sorry, but you have no experience.
Wow.
Savage.
That was brutal.
Love
and I'm going
you.
to quickly move on. So when I was in Crete in September, I had a lot of great food because I stayed at Dios Cove for 4 days. So on their residence club, it's super gourmet, a la carte, 3 meals a day, amazing. But one meal that stands out, 2 meals, damn it. 2 meals that stand out from that trip. One was the Minotaur restaurant at St. Nicholas Bay.
Okay.
It's Japanese fusion a la carte. I had a tuna wakame salad. I had sushi, and it was all incredible. The other one at Nana Princess, I had, oh my God, I was so full. The bread that came at the beginning of the meal was enough to fill up a small family.
Yeah, when you get good bread. At
But
the beginning.
it came with black garlic butter that had been branded with the resort emblem. So super cool.
Yeah.
And that was just the bread. For starters, there was a burrata and pomegranate salad. You have, as soon as someone says burrata, I'm in.
I'm so hungry now.
Right. And then main was a surf and turf burger, but with lobster as the surf.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Yeah. Amazing.
And simple. I was like, I just want a burger. And it was like burger on steroids.
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
so
yeah.
good. Your turn.
Good.
Go on, Sally.
Well, do you know what? Some of the best food that I have eaten is in South Africa. And you can eat like a king for not very much. Yeah. You know, you don't spend a lot of money on such good food. So I could talk about South Africa. That's when I first got into sushi, and I was really like, wow, I've been missing out for a long time because this is, and then I've always compared it, being like, it's not like the sushi I had in South Africa. Just all the food, the meat. And I'm not really a steak person, but I eat steak in South Africa because it's so good. But a standout meal, more experience. I mean, the food was incredible, don't get me wrong. It was about 7 courses and Italian. I think it's labelled as the best Italian restaurant outside Italy, and this was in Marrakesh. Again, I know I keep coming back to Marrakesh, but it is quite a foodie place at the Royal Mansour. So we were hosted and had dinner there, and that was amazing. But the staff was so friendly. They were making my little boy pasta, just, you know, simple pasta because that's what he loves. And they said, do you want to come into the kitchen and see it being made? And he was just like, oh my God. I said, you're going, I'm coming with, like, we're going. And that was it. He was just waltzed into the kitchen and like met all the chefs. They all made a fuss of him. He saw his pasta being made. And yeah, that was like, when do you ever get to see that kind of thing? Like behind the scenes of a hotel like that. So yeah, that was a special foodie experience.
Nice. I mean, him and bolognese are like two peas in a pod.
Yeah.
Just pasta, just any pasta, and he's just
Bless
like
him.
best ever.
What's your other one?
My other one would be I went to Argentina last year. What year are we even in? Year before? Honestly, I have never had steak like it. And I like a good steak, but this was like just amazing. I mean, we were having steak and red wine every day.
I was going to say, did you have it
every day.
every day?
Yeah. And actually, before I'd gone to Argentina, I wasn't really a red wine drinker. Wasn't quite there yet, you know. And
She's converted now,
to be
folks.
honest,
30, she's there.
yeah. Oh, don't tell them all this. Can't tell, surely. Anyway, red wine and steak every day. You come home and you have withdrawal symptoms. So I couldn't even nail like one restaurant. It's just the steaks that they do over there.
Everywhere.
Yeah, amazing.
I feel like there's so many, and it's really hard to try and pick like a meal or a restaurant. But we've had an amazing Japanese dinner at Hard Rock in Marbella.
We did.
We had a ridiculous dinner at a Michelin star restaurant partnered with Borgo Santo Pietro in Florence. Saporio, I think. Saporio.
Do you remember me that night? I was just like, what is going on?
There was a lot of
the chef was also I can't say this
you
on
did
the podcast because
yes
I'm
you
married,
can
but
I'm going to say it. She absolutely stalked the chef after the meal.
I fell in love with him. I really did.
Goodness.
I'm still in love with him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
That's
his
okay.
food.
We can talk about it.
Sorry, everyone.
Don't apologize to Liam.
Do you remember? We were
I do
sat opposite
remember.
ends of the table and I was like, this is just incredible. Like everything, just the food, the detail. We were the only one. No, we weren't the only ones in there. They were, but it felt like we were the only ones in there.
Yeah.
It was really stand out. Yeah, it was incredible.
Yeah.